where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars Microgalaxy Squadron Anakins Naboo N-1 Starfighter. This is a Target exclusive here in the US, and a really cool release, one that I'm shocked it took them this long to get to. Without further ado, let's get into the review and see what this ship is all about. Alright, you guys know the drill. As always, we start by taking a look at the packaging. This is very similar to the standard packaging, basically is the standard packaging for the $15 product line. You have a card back with a big bubble on it. I'll point out the differences as we go along. Looking at the card back, in the top left you have a Star Wars logo, also all of them at the Target that Tommy and I went to. Shout out to Tommy from the 1313 podcast. He's going to be reviewing these as well if you want additional opinions. But up in the top left, you have your Star Wars logo, top right, warning logo. In the back, behind the bubble, and they always do this, they have really cool art, you know, the Trade Federation, like, you know, ring battleship, and, like, you can't see it because there's so much bubble and stuff going on in front of it. I appreciate the art, though. This side of the box features Episode 1 collection, where they would normally say, like, Series 1, Series 2. Another Star Wars logo around the side. You see some of that battle going on back there. In the bubble, you see the N-1 Starfighter looking really cool. You have a little instruction pamphlet here because the N-1 Starfighter is so long with that needle behind it. If you actually look down under it in the front of the packaging, you can kind of see it there. That's where the rest of the tail is. You have to barb it in. You have an Only at Target sticker. Really cool. I always love seeing the Only at the store exclusive stickers. They don't do that enough. I wish they would put these on the Black Series. They used to do them 375 stuff. And then a sticker here that says it's from the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace lineup. That's really cool. You see Anakin and R2 looking really neat there in their little figure bubble. Microgalaxy Squadron label. Anakins N-1 Starfighter in foil. Pound number 0150, 8+ Jazzwares, Star Wars logo again. Below that's just legal stuff and a barcode. Around back is one of those blueprints you can cut out. I just throw it all away. And then a little hologram image of the N-1 Starfighter showing some details. It's got little engine compartment covers. Like, Microgalaxy always goes ham on this kind of thing. So I'm really excited to get into it. Let's go ahead and open up the N-1 Starfighter and see what we're getting here. So here we have the N-1 Starfighter out of the packaging and assembled. I assembled it to play with it for a minute before getting into the review, just to have a thought about it, and I was going to show you the assembly, like I was going to unassemble and reassemble, but actually when you barb the tail of the N-1 in, it like clicks really hard, and I can't get it out, and I'm not going to break it to re-demonstrate that for you. So just know that once you assemble it, it is one piece, and I actually think that that is a good thing. Let's run through the figures, as they are accessories in this line, in my opinion. Here we have young Anakin Skywalker, looking really nice and detailed for the scale. He stands a little under an inch tall. I think the figures usually stand right at an inch, so I feel like that's pretty accurate. There's actually a lot of detail going on here. You know, he's got some good sculpting on his clothes. He has the little darker undershirt, the brown belt, the pink on the hands. I mean, the helmet's done really nice. Unlike the Black Series, like, he actually got an accessory in his helmet. That's cool. Pouches around the back of the belt. I mean, this is like a lot of insane detail. And that's the thing. Microgalaxy Squadron doesn't really cut corners on even the little stuff like this. So I'm just really amped with how this has turned out. I really like how Kid Anakin worked. Like any other Microgalaxy figure, there's like 4 or 2 like points of articulation. So the arms swing forward and back, but as you see, they're connected. They have a pin that runs through the shoulders. Same with the legs. They both go forward, and they both go to, like, sit down or stand up, and they swivel together because there's a peg that runs through the hip connecting them. So that is little Anakin Skywalker, and then I'll put them in as we get into the review. And then here is R2-D2. Microgalaxy Squadron must be taking a page out of Lego's book, because I think R2 is the most produced Microgalaxy figure so far. And it's fitting. I mean, how many ships has R2 been in so many battles? He has seen some stuff. He's painted very nice. He has some blue punch-ins on like the chest and the arms, and not much going on around back. He has silver on the dome, blue around the eyes, but no black on the actual eye part of the eye. And then he has the panels on the top of his head. I think it's 8 panels. Might be about to get clowned. I thought Astromix only had 6, so that might be an inaccuracy. But it's not like a deal breaker, like ruining the figure kind of deal thing. But I was pretty sure they only had 6. So let me go ahead and show you loading up the figures. So for R2, he loads up really cool. It's actually accurate to the movie. So, because I was looking at it and I was like, how does R2 fit in the round hole? Well, he actually comes in from underneath. You have to fold up the back landing gear, and there's a door that swings open in the underbelly of the ship. Now, R2 has to go in with his legs front to back. He actually can't go in a position that he's facing forward. So, unfortunately, because I kind of like my astromechs always to be sort of like facing forward when possible. So, as you see, his head pokes through. He's a little sunk in there, but like he looks all right. And that looks like R2 in the N-1. But yeah, he can't look straight forward. He has to be to one side or the other. That's not my preference, but it is what it is. As you may have seen, the canopy does lift up. Let's take a look in the canopy, like in the cockpit. There is a ton of detailed sculpting in there. Not a ton of paint. It's just kind of in like a primer gray color. But you have like every gauge and control, and the seat has seat belts on it, and headrests and controls up behind it. I mean, this is insane detail that you're never ever going to look at. But they don't cut corners with this line. But I mean, stuff like that, the ship details are insane. So you get Anakin into a sitting position. You fish his legs down between those controls, and they kind of hold him sort of like between the knees, and actually keeps him very secure in there. With the cockpit open, I'm shaking that pretty hard. You're not losing Kid Anakin. And then when you close it, the cockpit actually closes with a very satisfying little snap. And so that is Anakin securely locked in there.
Now this is pod racing.
Now for other features, as you saw, there are 3 landing gear legs. Now, the N-1 Starfighters in universe, I don't believe have landing gear. They usually just kind of hover there. But given what this is, it's incapable of hovering on its own, unassisted. So they've given it little landing gears. I'm okay with that. There's one under each wing engine, and then one kind of under the cockpit. And they do work well. They hold in there securely. You kind of have to pry on them a little bit. They unclip. You swing them down, and it balances well. It's not like front or back heavy or anything. It is a perfect tripod setup. Folding those in, let's just take a look at the ship. This is a beautifully painted ship. It is cast in a yellow plastic, and then the silver paint deco is applied amazingly. Little red punch-ins here and there on the wings, around the cockpit, up by the droid socket. On this side over here, there's a couple little black marks there. I don't know what they truly stand for. I don't think they're kill counts yet or anything. But it's just really cool that they've, given us little details that, you probably wouldn't even notice if they weren't there. Another thing I love is the scoring behind the front cannons. Looks amazing. They've also done scoring around the backs of the engines on the center pylon thing that sticks out. A little bit of blue paint ring, engine rings around those. It just looks insane. One other really cool thing they've done, and they've only done it on one side. So this side is just a solid engine piece. On this side, there's a panel that you can pop off, and it actually shows you the inner workings of the wing engine, and that is just insane. Not any wash or weathering in there, but it's in a nice kind of gunmetal plastic color, and I really love that. I love when you have little pull-off panels. It's just so cool. So all in all, just looking at it, this does everything that I could ever ask for from a model of an N-1 Starfighter. I also love the solid silver paint underneath. Get a little bit of legal stuff and some unsightly screws under the bottom, but you're always going to have a little bit of that when it comes to a mass-produced, assembled item. So to do a little bit of a size comparison, there's not a lot of Phantom Menace vehicles out there yet, so I'm going to bring in just some prequel-era stuff. Here is Ahsoka's Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter. It is, of course, smaller. Maybe not necessarily in total bulk, but definitely in length. You lose a lot there. This was $15. If this was the single-packed chase, this is the Amazon one. This would have a ring if it was the chase. This was also $15, which is why I felt that was a fair comparison. And then here is the Ahsoka Jedi Interceptor. That would have been in like the $12 or $13 range. And it's just a little bit smaller. So all in all, I feel like you get a pretty fair value for what you're getting here. And I'm really happy with the price. So, end of the day, what do I think of the Micro Galaxy Squadron N-1 Starfighter? I love how they did this. This is so well done. I'm really, really satisfied with it. It is an amazing recreation of the ship, and I'm just super amped to have this in the collection. I'm a little shocked it took them so long to do it, but it definitely makes sense to do it in the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary year. It's one of the most iconic vehicles of the prequel era, and I really, really love it. One thing I would change, and maybe they might, is I probably wouldn't have packed Kid Anakin with it, even though I get, he's like the iconic pilot. I think if they pack a random Naboo pilot with a random painted astromech droid, it does give it a little bit of an army building opportunity there, because I don't want, 3 of these in formation with 3 Kid Anakins. And maybe there might be a way to get some Naboo pilots, in another set to, swap out and give the illusion. I could pretend there's a bunch of blue and silver astromechs. I'd get over that. But I probably would have packed an N-1 pilot, maybe even like in addition to Anakin, give it that little like store exclusive like perk. But as a one-off, it's really cool. Maybe they'll do that in like the main line instead of as a store exclusive later on. We might get like a multi-pack or something. You never know with Micro Galaxy. But objectively, for what this is and what's here, I love it. I think it's great, and I absolutely recommend it. Go to your Target and snag one, because this is a just super cool addition to this really cool line. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. Check out my channel membership down below, 99 cents a month. You can become an HTR superfan. It's just a little thing that shows me a little bit of appreciation. You get your name put in the end credits of every single video I do. It's really cool. No pressure, but if you're in any way interested, go check it out. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.